Hello everyone and welcome to July. I'm here to bring you your July general readings. I hope you're all having a great summer, and for those of you in the southern hemisphere, a great winter. We just rounded the solstice here, so we're going to bring it in through July. First off, I'm conducting a little bit of a giveaway. I love your guys' comments so much, and I want to keep encouraging the comments to stay alive and to stay inspired as we build this little YouTube channel and the community begins to grow. The number of views was down, which I'm actually quite happy for. That means a lot of people are actually out getting after it and out getting her done. So that's really good to see. But for those of you that are watching, your moon, your sun, and your ascendant signs, leave comments, inspired comments, and I may pick you to receive this Tarot of the Elves tarot just kind of at random. I want you guys to know that I read all of your comments and I try to respond to as many of them as I can. So as well, check the description box down below. There's some new ways to get in touch with me. I'm on Instabook and Facegram and Patreon now, so feel free to get in touch with me if you would like. Please remember that these readings are for entertainment purposes only. Without further ado, let's get into it. I hope you enjoy your readings. Hello, Scorpio. It's your turn. You're number 5 this month for this July general reading. Hey, flippers and a poppers. One just fell. Oh, look at, we're reading for Scorpio. Okay, that makes sense. All right, tarot is ready to go for you guys. I hope you're all in a place of joy, abundance, happiness, bliss, whatever the case may be. I hope you're after it and you're doing it well, okay? That's just my intention, the well-wishing for you. We're searching for the healing energies, the hidden messages, any stuck energies that we can help alleviate for Scorpio in July 2017. Messages for Scorpio in July 2017. There's a popper, 4 cups. All right, so fantasy versus reality here sometimes, Scorpio. It's kind of like that Pixies tune, like "Where is my mind?" Right? You kind of got to ask yourself, where are your efforts right now? Are you wasting time? Are you delegating you're managing your clock accordingly with this 4 of Cups? Now, and this guy's kind of like experience versus reward type stuff too. Like some of you might just be looking for a bit of inspiration, struggling to see maybe what's next, or you may just be finding like a bit of the blues, like things are a little bit blasé. You don't maybe just feel like doing too much, right? That kind of thing. But we'll see what that's all about. And here we go. I think Tarot's ready for your messages here for July, Scorpio. As always, thanks again for all your views. Thanks to the generosity of one of my viewers, I got a new microphone, and so please comment, let me know how it worked out. I'm always looking to find ways to deliver these messages in a way that's like more appealing or easier on your ears for you guys. All right, let's see what's going on. We've got Page of Cups up in the overall energy. Okay, Scorpio, so when it comes to feelings, you guys are usually very good at like discerning and associating your feelings towards something or knowing exactly what it is that you are feeling. But sometimes the most difficult thing I could feel is like sort of presenting that or explaining that, right? Cups, the Page of Cups is usually like there's a carryover of communication with feelings in this card, all right? And to have it up in your overall energy just kind of means is like you may not be in a position right now where you feel comfortable expressing to somebody how you feel. And it's kind of like par for the course for your sign. That's like pretty typical. It's pretty like you guys are in and out of this energy a lot, I feel. And this is where expansion and experience meet, where you guys are like, every sort of past instance where, communication of feelings has been like sort of a big thing in your life, you learn and you grow a little bit more, so it becomes a little bit easier this time. So Page of Cups, maybe you do need to rely on some sort of past experience to know that like nothing harmful comes from expressing your feelings. People tend to get butthurt, or people can, sometimes be upset when we say what we truly mean and how we truly are feeling. So maybe the Page of Cups as well is like saying like the presentation is everything. Like, it's tough to sort of drop a bomb on somebody maybe because intuitively you're seeing things a little bit better than they are, and you know the sort of the expressed desire and emotion behind it, okay? And as well, for some of you, you may just be struggling to know what you should be feeling towards something at this time too. It doesn't mean that we're all like sort of a master of our feelings when we see the court card. The page is still very somewhat naive and innocent when it comes to understanding what's going on. So there could be younger Scorpios checking this out and wondering like, what is the feeling that should be behind a successful relationship perhaps, or how do I know if what I've been feeling is real, and that sort of thing. And that's only questions that you can answer. The Page of Cups is very much like the card of like live and learn, right? And then there's not too much more through it. So through experience, these next couple weeks, Scorpio, I feel a lot will be coming your way to help you identify with your emotions a little bit more in ways that you can sort of ground and understand, okay? So let's go to grounding and see what's going on. Like, Hermit, I had to just to flip it upright, right? Hermit in my experience is generally a positive card. Now, Hermit reversed can indicate that you may be a little bit out of touch in the perception of others right now. Others might be having some trouble trying to relate to you over the even recent past or into the next little while. And it's like it speaks back to this sort of mysterious nature of like why things are the way they are with a person, right? Like, you know, somebody could just be out there going around, you know, they meet 8 or 7 or out of 10 people and they're like, you know what? People are pretty predictable. People are, you know, kind of generally are the same. And then maybe they come along somebody with like Venus and Moon in Scorpio, and then they're just like, whoa, what is that all about? What? Holy smokes, like this guy or this girl is like next level, right? Kind of thing. And it's like, it makes you at times a little bit unrelatable, or people would just like choose to party in a little bit of an energy that they could just understand a little bit more. They may not feel like, you know, being associated with the certain depths that you guys are capable of, Scorpio. So if you're feeling ostracized, if you're feeling kind of like skipped over or left out of anything particular in situations or in people, I don't think this is a sign that like you've done anything wrong or you've been too reclusive, which is like kind of traditional Hermit reversal messages, like you've been too much of a recluse, like you need to express, you need to show yourself. For some of you that may be true, but more so I see this in the grounding position as being like you guys trying to understand why people are the way they are towards you. Oh, and look at this, combined with this Ace of Cups. So some of you as well, you are maybe even willing to forgo, you know, acceptance and belonging to chase the thing that you truly love. And that could be a person, that could be an idea, that could be just anything where your heart is at right now. Your future, your life, your love, right? And sometimes like that, it can be like an inner mental and emotional battle when you're trying to balance out having acceptance and belonging versus chasing your true patterns when the bulk or the majority of the people just don't understand those, okay? So that's something that I think is considered like, this is like kind of like giving you a little foresight into maybe why things are the way they are on the daily. For like, this is like kind of like really interesting and heavy stuff to show up in your grounding, right? It's very much, you guys, I see like kind of in a healthy place, but at the same time, it's kind of like you almost need to remind yourself kind of on the daily to like keep going, keep doing those healthy things, keep working at it. Like, don't give up on anything. And it's almost like you guys are like even subconsciously at the point where you're like doing affirmations for yourself without you even realize that you're doing it, kind of thing. All right. So that's very interesting energy to see there in grounding. Wow. All right, Scorpio. Oh, look now, the sun up in your sacral area, all up in that sacral chakra, right? This is our creativity, this is our sexual drive, and this is our problem solving and our passion too at times. And you guys have drawn card number 19 major, the Sun, all right? Now, the Sun is the card of permanence. It's the card of like established comfort, established serenity. This is kind of like very zen, very, and also very a card of balance, right? The sun, when it's not there, we really notice it. And when it's there in all its force, we also really notice it, right? Because our bodies are directly related to our relationship with the sun and our physical beings. So maybe the heat's got you guys feeling pretty pretty good, like pretty Randy, so to speak. Sorry if your name is Randy. And just like kind of really wanting to be passionate, really want to be going out there, like finding a partner and making love to like somebody. It could be even somebody from your past or somebody that you're like meeting, something of that nature, Scorpio. I feel like that sort of dominant energy within you is like kind of being magnified due to like the heat of July. For those of you, like the majority of the people watching this in the northern hemisphere, or even if you're just in a country where it's like it's continuously warm and hot, that heat is kind of like magnifying your sexual prowess, your desires at this time. I feel what we see with the sun. And it's like a little bit beyond your control. It's like almost like you guys got to take care of business and then you can go about your day kind of thing. And you'll know what that means to Scorpios, right? So yeah, it's a positive card to see there. It would be a good time, like if you're looking to like get rid of like any stress that you might have been feeling from exclusion, to get in touch with one of your solid friends or your partner at this time and become completely involved with them, completely at one with them, so to speak, when we were talking about things like making love and things of that nature. Okay, what a good energy to see there, Scorpio. It's majors galore. Okay, here's something a little bit more down to earth, so to speak. We've got Two of Pentacles, and this card is reversed. Okay, so we saw that with, what was it, that Four of Cups that flipped out. It was kind of like, where's this balance between, you know, where our kind of our fantasy mind is and where our like things that are based in staunch reality and where that is. Like, and when we're kind of allotting our day, like when it comes to like our free hours, like I feel like some smaller responsibilities may just kind of be like being procrastinated on and slipping out of your hands, Scorpio, while you're focused on more maybe esoteric things, or maybe just like your creative side, or just wanting to get into the feeling of like escapism for a little while. And it's not like substance abuse escapism. This is more so of like, you know, turning on the music and just kind of like forgetting the day, so to speak, or like, you know, even like heavy meditations and just like, you know, if we've got this hermit energy up where you guys are in sanctuary, doors closed, where it's just kind of like we have to make sure that that isn't taking out too much of the time of our day, and we're still taking care of the basic responsibilities that we have. Because this card, to me, it always means there isn't enough hours in the day. We should have a 30-hour day and, you know, a 9 days a week to, you know, get all our stuff done. But, you know, they've got us running on their particular clock, the establishment and the powers that be, that is. And sometimes it's very hard for Scorpio, I feel, to live both sides, both their responsible, tangible life and their ascension journey at the same time. For those of you that have wakened up to you know, those higher frequencies. Well, let's leave it at that, right? Okay. And if you haven't, maybe it speaks to the balance on the reverse side of the coin, right? Maybe it speaks to the balance of like, okay, maybe there's a point where you kind of maybe need to stop, you know, diving head in on like something that you've been a little bit like workaholic about, or something that you know, just haven't like been conscious of the fact that you've been giving like 90 or 95% of your energy to this thing without kind of seeing that bigger picture. Okay, ask for a little clarity there. So intuition, we've got number 15, the major. All right, for some Scorpios, this is straight up. That fantasy, I didn't see it as substance abuse, but Tarot said, nope, wrong. This definitely, for some people hearing this, is a message of, yes, we need to put down whatever vice that is that you've got picked up, whether it comes in a bottle, whether it comes in a pipe, whether it comes in just a box that generates a TV signal, whatever that might be. it's almost like if you're feeling out of balance, the first thing to do is rid yourself of the things that alter your state of consciousness, that keep you spending too much time in the escapism, okay? I'm not saying you have to go out, join the program, and quit everything and, live this like abstinent life of everything. Like, it's just saying these things need to be managed. These things need to be sort of in the frontal lobe, in the consciousness, like while you're doing it, so to speak, right? Because health is a priority, right? Hermit wouldn't be there in your grounding if Hermit wasn't concerned for your health to a degree, especially for you if you're feeling, Scorpio, like some things in regards to purpose or worldly doings haven't been flowing your way. This is a message of that the return to health is like that first step before like more external manifestation can begin on the things that, what this free time and what this, this escape from reality is meant to bring you into an intuitive and expansive state where you manifest, you grow, and then you go out into the world. The devil, number 15 major, is a hurdle in that, in kind of allocating yourself to be in the proper moment and the proper headspace at any given moment of time, so that lifetimes, decades, years don't slip away without that sort of like, with too much of that, so to speak, okay? I know it's like a 2-week like general reading, but some of the message sometimes comes very heavy, and I get prepared to go deep with Scorpio because like that's just the way it is. There's like certain things like surface level versus certain things that it's like, why are we even talking about this, right? Okay, we're gonna move on up into the heart. Look, King of Pentacles. Okay, some of you definitely having relationships at this time with Taurus, with Capricorns, and with Virgos. These are people that I think you are feeling very connected to at this time. If there is like good sexual energy to be had with a partner, those of you that are in love with your earth signs, I feel like this is something that's going to be firing on all cylinders. This is something that's going to be making both people very happy, right? This is harmony when I see this, and we look at it as an external person. So as well, Scorpio, this could be somebody that you understand and even relate to very well, especially if this is someone in Taurus and even Capricorn. This is showing harmony with that person because they're in your heart. And it's almost like the feeling I get is that they look upon you with an understanding of like, wow, finally somebody that gets me, finally that somebody that understands like what it's all about, both sides of the coin. Like it's a mutually beneficial thing where it's like they can help you get rooted in attending to your physical responsibilities, and then when you have your free time together, you can help them tap into like their tantric side or like their own healing abilities or their elements, so to speak, where it's much more than just, dollar bills and responsibilities. There's also this side of like being a very like permanent and established, and like you feel this energy like maybe of like a father sky or a mother earth with like that sort of like energy, like kind of, I don't know, it's very big, it's very and it feels very harmonious. We're gonna just, core cards are interesting. And we've got the King of Pentacles up in your heart. So for some of you that are single, to see this King of Pentacles up here, this like is a situation where you could be gaining advice or getting heartfelt messages, perhaps from somebody in your family, an older gentleman, or it doesn't have to be a gentleman, like it could be a mother or father. You could be receiving advice about where to go next or what to do with your time and your resources if you're like maybe in university or maybe you're out searching for your first job. There's also a message in that, I feel, for younger single Scorpios that are watching this. There are kind words or there's guidance to be received from older family members. And that's interesting because, wow, look, we've got Four of Wands. Some of you will be definitely seeing your family here in the next couple of weeks in regards, and they're going to want to know about you, where you've been, what you've been doing, how you've been going, who you've been seeing, and don't you dare show up alone, because it'll be like, oh my goodness, where's your significant other, right? To your cousin's wedding, or Aunt Billy's the anniversary, right? And you may just kind of be like, you've had enough of it. You don't want to hear about it. These are people that might have even grown up in a different time, and you're feeling like this trouble that we came in for, like, how am I feeling, and like, why don't other people understand me? And then there's a bit of a disconnect that occurs there. You may find yourself being a little bit defensive of wanting to open up to people's questions. Okay, at this time, it could be your parents or aunts and uncles, or it could just even be like through siblings or something of that nature. Okay, doesn't mean you can't enjoy yourself, feel that harmony of this time of year for you, Scorpio. But don't be surprised if, like, people are kind of annoying you, like, because some people are going to avoid you because you don't understand you, and some people are just going to be like, bah, 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 bah. They're going to question the heck out of you because, like, that would be just their internal nature, right? So it's like, you want the fire, you want the frying pan, the fire, frying pan. Sometimes it's just, yeah, but there's harmony in this. It doesn't mean like it's all adverse, like clenched fist type energy. There is always healing in these things. When these kind of energies come about, sometimes we just have to smile and laugh and do our best to open up into a degree. One thing, if you're feeling that way, maybe you go into it and you're like, well, I'm going to hit them with all the questions and then get them on their ego talking about their life, and then I only have that worry about the other side of it. So just something you can use potentially for that. Okay, here we go into communication. Yeah, here's the issue, right? Nine of Swords, we saw it here a little bit, right? Saw it here. Communications is a tough go right now, Scorpio. Just like you may be going so deep, and you may be just feeling so isolated, this solitude of, like, maybe some of you have been single for a very long time and you're just like ready to just say, F it, I'm done with it. I don't have what it takes to relate to the other signs or to other people. They'll just never get me. They'll just never understand, the things that I do, because this is heavy mental, right? This is almost like your thoughts, your ideas, and your experiences, I feel, mean so much to you, Scorpio, that you hold on to them, and you hold on to them tightly, and you hold on to them in both your conscious mind and in your subconscious mind. It's like a double whammy. And as soon as you're like kind of at the point where you've let something go, it's like cha-chink, another one falls down. It's like, now deal with this, right? And it's like, oh man. And I just hope you're in a position where you're not creating any more bad experiences for yourself. Now, to have this in communication, it's like, maybe you're just feeling like you see other people around you and they have no problems being superficial, shallow, and then at that point everybody kind of laughs and they all get off on it, and it's like you just like don't want to enter into that kind of energy, and then it makes you feel closed off, where it was never your intention to be closed off in the first place. But there comes a point where you're just like, screw it, I don't want to have that to be adverse. You'd rather just go on like a singles cruise to Rio de Janeiro or to Alaska or something, right? Where it's like, you're just kind of have your anonymity in a boatload of strangers, because it almost seems like, when people draw close, it's out of mystery. And then if they don't like what they see when they open up to you and you open up to them, then they just turn and run, right? Not by any fault of your own, because like in the words of the late Chris Cornell, like, to be yourself is all that you can do, right? It's very tough for Scorpio to communicate what they're feeling on the depths, the levels that they want to communicate it, because people just, they don't understand. They don't want to take the time to understand. And hold on, if you find a partner, if you find somebody that is at least willing to meet you halfway, then Scorpio, it's like almost you have to ask yourself and communicate to yourself, all right, what is it exactly that I'm willing to settle, that I'm willing to put up with in a relationship in terms of feeling and communication? Do you want the all or nothing? Do you want the twin flame, the soulmate experience where it's like you will never get enough of each other, and you come home and you make love 3 times, a week, or 3 times a night, depending on your situation, and or is it somebody that is just like, oh my goodness, they seem they seem removed, or I feel like once we've reached a certain point in a new relationship, it's like the hunt is over, the chase is over, everything's lost, and it's like that cycle repeats itself. Tough energy to see here in communication, Scorpio. And I've just done my best to sort of explain it in ways that I had intuitively felt what those swords were about, right? We've got story here, so right. Life here, does it always feel like a competition? Is it tough to find yourself sort of in the prominence of maybe where you are viewing of what was the prime of your life or what will be the prime of your life? Is there certain competition now because ideas around monogamy, sex, open relationships have changed, right? Are there certain people in your environment that are quick to judge you because you don't mind showing that side of yourself, and then it ends up turning like into misunderstandings and miscommunications, right? Got it there. 5 of Wands, contributing factor. The Hangman, the contributing factor, right? What are we fated to? It can feel sometimes impossible to change things if we're having trouble getting it off our chest, what it is we like and what we don't like, to people that we need to sort of co-create things with, albeit whether it's like a sibling or a roommate or a parent or something like that, somebody that's meaningful to you, right? It's kind of like it's tricky to get outside of that comfort zone when you are just like, nobody knows where your boundaries are, so to speak. There is some worry that's here from like taking things too far, or people not being able to sort of handle your level of truth or the way you see things because they're intimidated by it, or they just don't feel it, right? They just can't grasp. Okay, so some trickier problems up in communication with your sign and with the traditional sort of aspects of that. Okay, so let's move on, Scorpio. We've got another 9. This is a 9 of Cups reversed. Okay, so some of you definitely need to get back into more spiritual practices the way they were meant to be before you may have gone off on a particular tangent, left, right, or followed something that you thought was the next step, the next thing. 9 of Cups reversed is almost saying like, whoa, Charlie, you got to take a step back. You've got to understand where you were before, or where it is exactly you are now, before you push ahead too far, because there's risk of having to sort of do a U-turn and cycle around, which is more time consuming and more energy draw than it is if you just stop and consider and like bring your past lessons with you. Bring that stuff that that those things that are intangibly permanent. Make a list of them, what it is for you, right? And kind of explain to yourself what it is, right? So if you're desiring a relationship, what does that mean to you? You can't just say a relationship. Well, what is it? And then you define it further. You see it a lot on dating websites, actually. People write all this stuff down about what they want, who they are, and then they write all this stuff about what their partner must be, right? And then there's just like this huge expectation that's been set on both sides, right? Because it's like, have you been completely honest in defining what it is you want? Well, maybe you want a man that's 6'4". Well, why is it that you want a man that's 6'4"? Is it because you'll look better in your high heels? Or maybe you're a man that wants a woman with a particular color hair, and that's that expectation that you have in your mind. Or maybe you wouldn't date somebody that doesn't drive a car because it's like it would be below you to like have to meet somebody at a bus stop, or like continuously be going to pick them up, or something of that nature. It's almost like you don't have to lower your expectations, but this is kind of like opening up to where you presently are, so that other people, it's almost like you're coming back to relate to other people and their struggles, rather than kind of like saying, well, I'm going to watch you struggle here. I'm going to watch you go through it, right? And I don't know where this is coming from. Hopefully this is making sense to some of you, but because intuitively, like, these are just words that are coming through right now with this, like, 2 9s that are up. Change is bound to happen, right? But these cards are asking you to be ready for it. Like, we're looking for a strong return to health with some of these things. And now it's like covered like every level. Like physically, you're looking not too bad, Scorpio. But like sort of the mental game is like kind of got in the way, or there needs to be some certain disciplines coming through in terms of like meditation or maybe like focus. That's something that you can do that's just a little bit better. Okay. Queen of Wands. So yeah, this card pertains to like a lack of fulfillment, and now it's like kind of like executing on doing what it is we're passionate about. Maybe some Scorpios are really just afraid to be completely open, intuitive monsters amongst a field full of sheep that would just like run away from them. And that it's just like this reoccurring like vision or thing that keeps popping into my brain, because the Queen of Wands is here is saying like, well, can you really get at a point of mastering what it is you're passionate about if you're not open about it? And maybe for some people this is like, whatever it might be, like a webcam model, or like something that like where you're like kind of feeling ashamed but yet you really enjoy it. It could be profitable for you. I don't know what it means. Like, so you'll have to apply it to your situation. Okay, here we go. And we've got 8 of Wands up from Source, and this card is reversed as well. So more delays in communications, more trouble in communications when it comes to these next couple weeks coming up here. So Hermit, what do, right? Hermit card's reversed, saying, well, you don't want to be too far removed from the situation. But what other option is there when like we're not really on communicating and understanding well with the people around us, right? Or communication has left us feeling like maybe people are talking, spreading rumors, right? Or maybe you have to dispel certain mistruths that have been created about you, and you're just like feeling like I shouldn't have to do that. Or maybe there are certain Scorpios out there where you feel like reputation is at risk for some reason over something that's done or something that has occurred. So that's a tough set of cards to read there, Scorpio. You guys are doing really well, and I feel like this is just a bit of a hiccup. Like home life like looks really good for Scorpio, right? And the personal ascension journey, it looks like we're a little bit out of balance, right? As far as like coming into, making the best use of our time in our life right now. So hopefully that is something that is just like an easy fix, or like a little easy like shift in thinking for you guys. Oh, wow. Look at card number 23, peace. Peace. So there's the dove with the olive branch. So that's a sign of peace. And then there's like an egg with a face in it. Can you guys see that? I hope you guys can see that. It's like out in the middle of the field. Right now, Humpty Dumpty's not sitting on the wall. Humpty Dumpty's just like on the green grass. So maybe he finally is at peace, right? Old Humpty Dumpty. Let's take a look at the messages I created for this book, because you don't want my interpretation. 23, peace. Freedom from attachment and radical acceptance. It doesn't get any better than this. A quiet mind, a heart fulfilled, freedom from want, and the soul's satisfaction. The way to peace is through radical acceptance. Everything in your world is exactly as it should be. Harmony is beautiful. Enjoy it. When two people are in true alignment with one another, they have an innate harmony between them. They are as two perfectly tuned instruments playing together. Sometimes it's impossible to tell who is who. Peace is yours and to be savored. Okay, so it's good to know that these cards of harmony, of course, the Sun trumps it, but the King of Pentacles is here as well. It's saying like, okay, maybe this fantasy mindset is going to be strong. And I call it fantasy mindset, but this is like more like your higher state, your higher self just coming through you in existence, where you're like truly enjoying being yourself and not doing the bidding of others or the work of others. This is where this harmony is coming from, right? And I'm glad that for Scorpios in relationships, you're going to be able to sort of be very convincing to your partner that, now is a good time for peace and lovemaking, and just like breathing deeply and being on the same page about, ticky-tacky plans and things of that nature. Okay? but there's also this return to health that can make this even better. And the big one is in communication. Throat chakra work, okay, for the next couple of weeks, Scorpio. Let's practice focus. Let's practice, if it takes a mirror to do it, then so be it, all right? I love you all, and we'll see you next time.